Hi there, thanks for joining me again on this journey of awareness, this journey of being a better version of ourselves. Yeah, well, in the last video, we talked about how we learn to improve ourselves. Yeah, and this video, we want to talk about rejection, how to handle rejection. And what is rejection? Well, we've probably faced rejection multiple times. Impossible to count how many times we face rejection, and it's part and parcel of our life. And sometimes rejection can be so demotivating. Yeah, it can pull us down. We can feel really, really like, oh man, we don't want to try anything, we don't want to do anything because we are rejected. Well, the thing is, most of us did not inherit a gold mine, right? Most of us need to have a job or some kind of business to make a living. Yeah, we have a job and have a business to make a living, and that's just life, right? Just part and parcel of life. And the thing with jobs are, you've probably been to a lot of job interviews, or maybe you're looking for a job right now. Yeah, and job interviews can be stressful, right? And rejection is very possible, and it can get very personal, and rejection can activate our insecurities. And when you have a business, you want to make the sale, right? Yeah, and rejection there can also be very real, and it can be very possible that the person is rejecting what you're saying. All right, now we can get desperate. We risk getting desperate at job interviews, or maybe you're being interviewed for a promotion, or you're making a sales pitch. Yeah, and because you fear rejection, you tend to be desperate, and people pick that up. Your interviewer, the person you are presenting to, picks it up, and they get it. And how the situation develops. When you're talking to somebody and the person is desperate, you kind of like, you would back off naturally. Yeah, so you want to be at your best at your job interview, at your interview for your promotion, at your sales pitch. You want to be at your best when you're there. All right, so remember that rejection is part of the process. This is how you do it. Rejection is part of the process because you've been rejected multiple times already, and you should know by now that rejection is part and parcel of life. However, it doesn't make it any easier. It's just simple. It's simple equation that rejection part and parcel of life. It doesn't make it any easier, right? The thing is, you must remember this. Okay, whatever job interview you go to, yeah, you are not defined by that role, that job role. Okay, if you're rejected, the person is just rejecting your role for your fit for that company. Maybe the person feels that you're not the right fit for the job role, not you personally. Yeah, and let's say you're making a sales pitch. The person probably is thinking, if there's a rejection, the person doesn't want the product. It is because that the product is not right for the person. The person feels that the product is not right. The person is not rejecting you. So your job role, yeah, and your product does not define your value. You're much more than that, right? Because you have your family, right? You have your hobbies. You have your what you're interested in. Yeah, the other parts of your life. There are many things that define you, and it's just not only the job and not only the product that you represent. That doesn't define your value. You're much more than that, right? On that same breath, okay, you want to make the possibility of a successful job interview or a successful sales pitch as high as possible, right? So prepare yourself, learn or know your product well, know about the role that you're being interviewed for, dress professionally. Remember that first impression that people make is visual. They look at you, right, and they see what they see of you. There's a filter that goes on in their mind. The difference between a professionally dressed person and the difference between a casually dressed person, you know what I'm talking about, right? Help yourself to be more successful in that way. Yeah, for the interview, for your sales pitch, help the person to also see the value of the role that you're bringing in, or the value of your product. Help the person to see that, yeah. And one of the things that is very important that people just don't put much focus on is this: ask for feedback. When you're at an interview, ask for feedback. Or when you're making a sales pitch, ask for feedback. Yeah, ask them if there are any unanswered questions that they may have. All right. Now we have a lot of information in our minds. We have a lot to share. Right. At the job interview, we're talking about ourselves. We're giving out a lot of information about ourselves. And at the sales pitch, we're giving a lot of information about our product. Is that information what that person is seeking for, the other person? Yeah, your interviewer, the information you're giving that person, is that the information that they actually want? Or the person that you're making the sales pitch to, is that the information that is pertinent to them? Did they want that information, or is that information important to them? Maybe there's other information that they actually need. So ask questions. Ask about what other questions that's not answered yet. What is on their mind? Yeah, and also the feedback is important, because when you have this feedback, it helps you to learn whether the sales pitch or whether the job interview has been successful or not. The feedback will help you to better prepare yourself for the next one. Yeah, rejection is part of life. Okay, learn from it and move on. Right? Learn from it, move on. You're much more than that. Your value is much higher than whatever it is that you are selling, or whatever it is, the interview for the job that you're going for. All right, learn from rejection and move on, because every single moment in life is a teaching moment. Whether we choose to learn from it is entirely up to us, and the lessons will repeat until we learn. You think about what blocks and what things you've come across that have been repeatedly holding you back. Yeah, those are the lessons that come along and will repeat, guaranteed will repeat until you learn from it. All right, and move on. Okay, thanks for joining me again on this journey of being a better version of ourselves. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye guys.